Ini ada permasalahan jaringan kayaknya ya. Halo Iska. Jaringannya kurang bagus ya di situ.
Iya, Mem.
Soalnya keluar-keluar ini. Tadi tidak ada suaranya. Coba diulang kembali. Langsung saja membaca.
Okay. Still sweet. I don't know how the end ladder. The only thing that would make sense should admit it that I will be me. To keep adjusting that this life still sweet. I see from different side to know what it's like. Sometimes all I thinking of enter into imagination that it's difficult to explain. Is there someone can tell me life is not just black and white. Get love is easy if you wanna looking, but keep reputation is harder than making promises. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you Iska. Okay, the second participant, number 2, Muhammad Ardi Saleh. Time is yours.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Mari Saleh, and now I'm going to read my short story. My short story is A King's Painting. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom. The king there only had one leg and one eye, but he was very intelligent and kind. Everyone in his kingdom lived a happy and a healthy life because of their king. One day, the king was walking through the palace hallway and saw the portraits of his ancestors. He thought that one day his children will walk in the same hallway and remember all the ancestors through these portraits. But the king did not have his portrait painted. Due to his physical disabilities, he was not sure how his painting would turn out. So he invited many famous painters from his and other kingdoms to the court. The king then announced that he wants a beautiful portrait made of himself to be placed in the palace. Any painter who can carry out this should come forward. He will be rewarded based on how the painting turns out. All of the painters began to think that the king only has one leg and one eye. How can his picture be made very beautiful? It is not possible, and if the picture does not turn out to look beautiful, then the king will get angry and punish them. So one by one, all started to make excuses and politely declined to make a painting of the king. But suddenly, one painter raised his hand and said that I will make a very beautiful portrait of you, which you will certainly like. The king became happy hearing that, and the other painter got curious. The king gave him the permission, and the painter started drawing the portrait. He then filled the drawing with paints. Finally, after taking a long time, he said the portrait was ready. All of the courtiers, other painters were curious and nervous, thinking, how can the painter make the king's portrait beautiful? Because the king is physically disabled. What if the king did not like the painting and gets angry? But when the painter presented the portrait, everyone in the court, including the king, left stunned. The painter made a portrait in which the king was sitting on the horse, on the one leg side, holding his bow and aiming the arrow with his one eye closed. The king was very pleased to see that the painter was made beautiful portrait be cleverly hiding the king's disabilities. The king gave him a great reward. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 3, Andi Nur Fatima. Andi Nur Fatima Az-Zahra. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Andi Nur Fatima Zahra. In this mid test, I want to reading short story about Rapunzel. Rapunzel. Once upon a time, in a house overlooking a beautiful garden, there lived a childless couple. They prayed to God every day to bless them with a child. One day, they found that God had answered their prayer. They will finally have a baby. One day, his wife sick. He tried to tease her with many good things, but she refused them all. You must eat something, my dear, he pleaded. There is potion Kelly Rapunzel in the next garden. I will feel better if I call it that, he said. Husband heart broke when he heard it. This garden is owned by an evil witch who won't let anyone in. But he loved her so much that he decided to go to the garden while the witch was gone. One day, he had managed to pick the passion, but just as he was about to leave, the evil witch returned. You are a thief! How dare you enter my garden? He is screaming. He is threatening to curse him. He felt his feet and begged, please, don't curse me. If wife doesn't eat this patient, she will die. She will have a baby and very big and be very sick. The witch said to think, I will let you go on condition that you give me some baby after he born. He also agreed. I think that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 4, Nur Rahman.
Hello, my name is Rahmadayani. I'm going to read a short story, Princess Rose and the Golden Bird. Once upon a time, in a kingdom far away, there lived a princess who was very beautiful. She has long red hair and very much loved Rose, so that the many people who call her Dr. Rose. Every night after dusk, the doctor of Rose come out to the balcony and clip it. A bird of gold came flying out of nowhere and then rested on his shoulder. Immediately the hair, the princess began to shine, brightly lit with a red light shining. When the bird began to twitter like he was a charming song, a doctor Rose came along to sing the strain of chirping bird to follow, and all the people who are in the kingdom fell asleep and dreamed sweetly until dawn. Each evening, the princess Rose, along with her little goat bird, always sing lullabies that are lovely, so that all people can feel asleep soundly and have sweet dreams till dawn. However, something terrible happened. An evil witch who learned about Rose decided to condemn him. Abracadabra, simsalabim, a hair will turn black the rose, said the witch, and Princess Rose has color ever directly turned black like tar. That night, the doctor of Rose came out to the balcony and clipped it. But when the golden bird appeared, his hair instead of black shone instead of red. The bird that sang the exciting melodies, and Dr. Rose was singing lullabies. Everyone who was in the kingdom also fell asleep. But that night they instead dreamed sweet, just the opposite. They are dreaming very badly. The next day, the princess said golden bird and asked, tell me the golden bird, how can I make the dreams of people who are in the kingdom? Okay, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, number 5. Ada orangnya number 5. Siapa number 5 itu? Fatmawati. Fatmawati. Oh iya, number 6 di sini ya. Kalau Fatmawati number 6, siapa yang number 5? Ini Nur Rahmadayani. Cocok. Fatmawati, kamu harusnya number 5. Okay? So now it's your turn. Fatmawati, it's your turn now.
Hello guys, good morning. My name is Fatmawati. and I will read a story about Little Red Riding Hood. Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in a village near the forest. Whenever she went out, the little girl wore a red reading cloak, so everyone in the village called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood asked her mother if she could go to visit her grandmother, as it had been a while since they had seen each other. Remember, go straight to Grandma's house, her mother cautioned. Don't dawdle along the way, and please don't talk to strangers. Don't worry, Mom, said Little Red Riding Hood. But when Little Red Riding Hood noticed some lovely flowers in the woods, she forgot her promise to her mother. She picked a few, watched the butterflies flit about for a while. Suddenly, a wolf appeared beside her. What are you doing here, little girl? The wolf asked, in a voice as friendly as he could. I'm on my way to see my grandma, who lives through the forest, near the brook, Little Red Riding Hood replied. Then she realized how late she was, and she immediately moved quickly to her grandmother's house. The wolf, in the meantime, took a shortcut, arrived at grandma's and knocked lightly at the door. Oh, thank goodness there. Come in, come in. I was worried sick that something had happened to you in the forest, said grandma, thinking that the knocket was her granddaughter. The wolf let himself in. Poor Granny did not have time to say another word before the wolf gobbled her up. The wolf let out a satisfied burp and then put on a nightgown and a nightcap for the size of the wardrobe. A few minutes later, Little Red Riding Hood knocked on the door. Who is it? He called in a cackly voice. It's me, Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, do come in, my dear, croaked the wolf. I think that's all. Thank you, guys.
Okay, thank you. The next one is Yeni Handayani. Okay, time is yours.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Yen Handayani. I want to read story about Kancil and Crocodile. Kancil and Crocodile. In this morning, Farmer Package is planting cucumber set. Red its house. The mouseketeer met Farmer Package. Good morning, Package. Were the mouseketeer hearing mouseketeer come? Just off the cuff the mouseketeer. What wishing you do conduct my property farm? Asked the farmer to the mouseketeer. Oh, forgiveness, Package farmer. If me surprise, my arrival here is wishing to see how to plant cucumber, said Package word the mouseketeer. You need see the way of planting this cucumber, said House wait surely farmer word to the mouseketeer. Ah, unretrieved bribe of Package my arrival here to learn to have to cultivation because I have this throne to steal cucumber property of Tather. Although the mouseketeer tried to make farmer believe that itself will not steal again, and he tears for to plant cucumber, but edge of mouseketeer which like to steal cucumber cultivation too. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next one is siapa setelah Yani? Rayani. Oke, Om Rayani, time is yours.
Hello guys, my name is Umrayani. Today I will read a poetry, Precious Mother. The Precious Mother. Mom, you have given me so much love from your heart and the warmth of your touch, the gift of life, and you are a friend to me. We have a very special one, which only comes from God. I'm sure you agree. As a child, I would say, Mommy, I love you. Now, you are my mother's son. I love you even more with each and every new year. If I could have chosen, I would have picked no other. Thanks for you to be my lifelong friend and precious mother. I think that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you. The next one is Syahran Syawal. Okay, Syahran Syawal, are you there? Apakah ada orangnya? Syahran Syawal?
Sorry, ma'am. Dia sudah keluar.
Iya, Ma'am.
Ada orang?
Sudah keluar, Ma'am.
Okay, that's okay. Next one is Siti Hadijah. Ada orang?
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning. I am Siti Khadijah, and with this, I will read a poetry. I follow my dreams by the lila. I get offended. I get ignored. I often feel trapped, and I keep my talks stirred. People can be cruel and very mean, but no matter what, I follow my dreams. Life has waves, I know that, but I stand brave and just take the crowd. I may feel exhausted and totally cramped, but no matter what, I follow my dreams. I know what I want, and I won't stop trying. Quitting, I can, for now I'm flying. It's impossible, it seems, but no matter what, I follow my dreams. Okay, that's all. I thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Sri Reskiastuti. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, guys. In this test, I want to read poetry entitled Dreaming. Dreaming. Close your eyes and spread your wings. Make a wish and dream good dream. Don't never say you will never tell. Cause life is short and very frail. Just be still and take a look. Before you know it, you'll be look. Then once in a blink of an eye, you'll soon realize it was all a lie. Up you look, they're gone. Why today feels so long? What was once their heart's deceiver? Now, love is the only thing to fear. Why is they go when it was known? You open your eyes only to find what light that was your sign. So close your eyes and spread your wings. Make a wish and live your dream. I think that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is Raudatul Jannah.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today I will read the poem. The title is Milk and Honey. Milk and Honey by Ropikar. How is it so easy for you to be kind to people? He asked. Milk and honey dripped from my lips as I answered. 'cause people have not been kind to me. The very thought of you has my legs spread apart like an easel with a canvas bikini for art. Sometimes the apology never comes when it is wanted, and when it comes, it is neither wanted nor needed. Your art is about how many people like your work. Your art is about if your heart likes your work. It's about how honest you are with yourself, and you must never trade honesty for relativity. Give to those who have nothing to give to you. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next one is number 13 ya, Alda. Ya, Alda tanya.
Okay, hello. I'm Alda and I will read a poetry entitled It's Time to End This Relationship. Okay, I will start it. It's time to end this relationship. My face is bright red. The fire of anger in my chest is burning. Have you keep lying to me? You two just keep on playing skits. I can't stop thinking. How could be? As someone I consider a true friend, how could you betray me? Without my knowledge, you are in love with my lover. You really love a human and lacks integrity against a relationship. I feel like a matchmaker. How around the two of you? I can't accept betrayal anymore like this. Get out of the two of you from before me. Let me live life without having to look at your face again. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is Adinda Dwi Savitri. Okay, time is.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adinda Fitri, and today I would like to read a short story, and the title of the short story is The Pot of the Wheat. I will start. Once Emperor Akbar became very angry at his favorite minister Birbal. He asked Bilbar to leave the kingdom and go away. Accepting the command of the emperor, Birbal left the kingdom and started working in a farmer's farm in unknown village far away under a different identity. As months passed, Akbar started to miss Bilbar. He was struggling to solve many issues in the empire without Bilbar's advice. He regretted additions, asking Bilbar to leave the empire in anger. So, Akbar sent his soldiers to find Bilbar, but they failed to find him. No one knew where his Bilbar was. Finally, Akbar found a trick. He sent a message to the head of every village to send a pot full of the wheat to the emperor. If the pot full of the wheat arrived, he would give wheat and jewels. This message also reached Bilbar, who lived in one of the village. The people of village got together and started talking about what to do now. The wheat is not a thing. Which should we do? How will we arrange for diamonds and jewels to fill the pot and send to the emperor? Bilbar, who was sitting among the village, said, "Give me the pot. I will fill the wheat in 1 month's end." Everyone trusts Bilbar and agreed to give him a change, but they didn't know his identity. I think that's all from me. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 15. Arwini Ragita Cahyani. Ini tadi ya yang nggak bagus hari ini. Let's try. Kita coba dulu bagaimana.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Arvini Ragita Chayani from English Literature Department Class A. So I want to read the short story. The title is Putri Kemuning. But before I read the story, I will tell you the reason why I chose the story. So the story teaches us about patience when facing a problem or disaster. I also take the moral of the story that good intention will have a good impact on us as well. So let's get started. Putri Kemuning. Putri Kemuning and her mother lived in the jungle. They were poor. Putri Kemuning helped her my voice.
Nah, sudah ada. You may continue.
Ma'am, I will repeat my story. Bisa jadi dengar suaraku, Ma'am?
Ya, bisa.
Okay. Putri Kemuning. Putri Kemuning and her mother lived in the jungle. Putri Kemuning helped her mother collect woods in the jungle and sell them to the market. In the jungle, Putri Kemuning had animal friends. One day, Putri Kemuning's mother was very ill. Putri Kemuning was very sad because she did not have enough money to buy medicine. She then collected many woods and plans to sell them. She wanted to spend the money to buy medicine for her mother. While she was collecting woods, Putri Kemuning met her animal friend, the rabbit. She worried as Putri Kemuning looked very sad. Putri Kemuning told the problem to the rabbit. I can take ring and sell it, says the rabbit. Putri Kemuning, no, this is King Naranjan Pinchono's ring. It fell when he was hunting around here. Putri Kemuning hesitated. She really needed the money, but it was her ring. Finally, she said, no, I have to return this ring to the king. Putri Kemuning then went to see the king at his palace. What is your name and what is your purpose here? Said the king. My name is Putri Kemuning. Return your Putri Kemuning. Oh, thank you so much. Now I want to give you something. Tell me, what do you want? Asked the king. I don't want anything. I just want to go home. My mother is very ill, replied Putri Kemuning. You are very kind, girl. Now take this gift, said the king.
Putri Kemuning went home. When she arrived, Putri Kemuning told her mother about the king's ring. Her mother was very proud of her. When they opened the gift, they saw a bag full of gold coins. They were happy because they can buy medicine. So that's the story of Putri Kemuning. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 16, Amalia. Time is yours. Amalia, time is yours.
Okay, ma'am. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Amalia, and I will read short story about the shepherd boy and the wolf. A shepherd boy tended his master's sheep near a dark forest not far from the village. Soon he found life in the pasture very dull. All he could do to amuse himself was to talk to his dog or play on his shepherd's spade. One day, as he sat watching the sheep and the quiet forest, and thinking what the wolf do shall he see a wolf, he thought of a plan to amuse himself. His master had told him to call for help so a wolf attacked the flock, and the villagers would drive it away. So now, though he had not seen anything that even looked like a wolf, he ran toward the village shouting at the top of his voice, "Wolf! Wolf!" As he expected, the villagers who, heard, who heard the cry dropped their work and ran in great excitement to the pasture. But when they got there, they found the boy doubled up with laughter and the trick he had played on them. A few days later, the shepherd boy again shouted, "Wolf! Wolf!" Again the villagers ran to help him, only to be laughed at again. The one evening, as the sun was setting behind the forest and the shadows were creeping out over the pasture, a wolf really did spring from the underbrush and fall upon the sheep. In terror, the boy ran toward the village shouting, "Wolf! Wolf!" But though the villagers heard the cry, they did not run to help him as they had before. "He cannot follow us again," they said. "The wolf killed a great many of the boy's sheep and they slipped away into the forest." Okay, I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is number 17, Agung. Agung, time is yours.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, hello everyone. My name is Agung. I will read a short story and the title The Honest Boy. When spent time, there was an old king who was very sad because he did not have a boy as a successor to his throne. The king finally decided to adopt a son who will be friends. Then the king held an announcement to all the boys in his kingdom that he was looking for someone to be adopted as his son. All the boys in the country got together to meet the king. The king became confused because there were many boys proposed themselves as potential friends. Then he talked so hard to find the boy who deserves to be friends. Finally, the king got idea. He distributed seed all the boys. Then he said that anyone who could grow the seed into beautiful flowers will become the friends. All the boys in the country planted and cared the seed careful, including a boy named Yongtu. He planted that seed well. He also watered that gave fertilizer to the seed every day. So I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is Dewi Wulandari. Okay, Dewi Wulandari, time is yours.
Hello guys, my name is Deulandari. So now I want to read a poetry and the title is When I Die by Rumi. When I die, when my coffin is being taken out, you must never think I'm missing this world. Don't shed any tears, don't lament or feel sorry. I'm not falling into a monster's abs. When you leave me in the grave, don't say goodbye. Remember, a grave is only a curtain for the paradise behind. When the sun sets or moon goes down, it looks like the end. It seems like the sunset, but in reality it is a dawn. When the grave looks you up, that is when your soul is freed. Have you ever seen a seed fallen to the earth, not rise with a new life? Why should you doubt the rise of a seed named human? Have you ever seen a bucket lowered into a well, coming back empty? Why lament for soul when it come back like Joseph from the wall? When for the last time you close your mouth, your words and soul will belong to the world of no place, no time. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 19. Number 19 tidak ada.
Amira Maniar.
Amira, okay. Amira, time is yours.
Okay, ma'am. Thanks for the chance that you have given to me. Let me introduce myself. My name is Amira Asmanir Muslimah Rahim, and I'm from Class A English Literature Department. And today I will read a poetry for my test. So let me start to read it. Advice from me to me by Melissa Pace. Engage, enrich, aggression, depression. Love yourself, no one but yourself. Because you see this life is yours, and yes, others may open a few doors, but in the end, it all comes down to whether you wake up in the morning and decide to take on the day, whether you decide to keep quiet or always have something to say. You are player one in this game, and you learn from your mistakes because you promise yourself future arrows won't be the same. And you stumble and crumble every now and then, crossing to the heaven, wishing things that would have been could have been. Your life you've been trying to figure out. All you want is a miracle for your wish. There are times when you're filled with doubt, and the way things are now don't satisfy you enough. Problems become struggles, and we now struggles are duh. There's some fear, there's some dread. We're not sure what to do, and at times we think we're better off dead. Risk seems like an option, but we dare not move forward. We worry we will never be safe, and any hint of happiness will fade away. But keep feeling yourself, things will be fine, because eventually things will change for the better in a matter of time. Okay, I think it's all. Thanks for your time and attention. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Next one is Rizka Anugrah. Okay, time is yours, Rizka.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rizka Anugrah Putri, and the pieces of story that I will read today is taken from Jaka Tarub and Seven Angels by Sunjaya D.H. So, here I go. Once upon a time, there was a widow who lived in the village of Tadapan. She had a son was named Jakatarup. Dadapan village was close to wood, so Jakatarup liked go to the wood. He liked hunting for animals with his blowpipe. One day, when he was in the wood, he saw a beautiful rainbow and he saw 7 angels went down through it. He came closer and searched for them. The 7 angels were swimming and taking a bath in a lake. Jakatarup looked at them while hiding behind trees. When they had finished taking a bath, they flew through the rainbows to heaven. The next day, he saw the same thing again. This time, Jakatarup had an idea. He searched for daydreams, and when he found them, he took one of them. As they had finished swimming and taking a bath, they looked for their dress. One of them couldn't find her dress. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And the last one ya, Anugrah Armelia. Okay. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you for your chance, ma'am. My name is Anugrah Armelia Pratiwi, and on this occasion, I would like to read my short story, and the title is Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. Once upon a time, there lived a handsome boy in Baghdad. The name was Aladdin. He was a clever boy, but he didn't like to work. One day, Aladdin's mother sent him to the marketplace to look for a job. In the market, he met a magician. The magician asked him to work together with him. If Aladdin could do, he would get a lot of gold coins and jewelry. The magician asked Aladdin to go inside the cave and find a magical lamp there. He also gave a ring and said, "If you are in any trouble, rub this ring and a jinn will come to your rescue." Aladdin went into the cave. Inside the cave, Aladdin was surprised by what he saw. Every corner was full of gold and treasure. A few minutes later, he found the lamp and quickly returned to the entrance of the cave. Aladdin called out, "Magician, I have found the lamp." "Excellent," answered the magician. "Quick, pass it to me." Aladdin didn't trust the magician, so he said, "Not so fast, magician. You must help me out of this cave first." The magician became very angry. When Aladdin was walking to the entrance, the magician pushed a huge rock over the entrance of the cave and left Aladdin and the lamp behind. Aladdin tried to move the rock all by himself, but it was too big and heavy. "Oh no, I'm trapped in the cave," he cried. Suddenly, he remembered the magic ring. He rubbed it with the palm of his hand. To his surprise, a jinn appeared before him and in a powerful voice said, "Master, I'm the jinn of the ring. How can I help you?" Aladdin was frightened, but he soon found the courage to ask, "Could you please send me back to my house?" In no time at all, Aladdin was back home. Aladdin took out the lamp. He wondered what would happen if he rubbed it. As Aladdin was rubbing it, all of a sudden another enormous jinn stood before him. The jinn of the lamp said, "Master, your wish is my command." Aladdin was very excited and wished for an enormous palace and bags full of gold. One day, a beautiful princess was passing by Aladdin's palace. She stopped to talk to Aladdin and soon they became good friends. Before long, Aladdin and Jasmine fell in love with each other. She married Aladdin and lived happily. Thank you for your nice attention, and I think that's all from me.
Okay, thank you. Has everyone performed already? Sudah semua ya. Ini si Jilan nanti sesi kedua ya. Oke, karena semuanya sudah, you may leave the room. And once again, I remind you to check your sham, okay, because there will be the second assignment for your mid test, okay? The second assignment will be 3 questions asking you to choose who the best performance is, okay? And the second worst performance, and the third one is the performance that you want to watch again. And this could be 1, 2, or 3 persons. It doesn't matter how many persons you choose, as long as you don't choose 10 persons. Don't choose 10 students, I mean, okay? Yeah, maximum 3 persons or 3 students you may choose. Jadi itu tugasnya yang terbaik menurut kalian, yang menurut kalian yang tidak terlalu bagus, yang paling buruk lah menurut kalian, sama yang favorit kalian siapa. Jadi yang favorit itu tidak mesti yang terbagus, tapi kalian suka lihat misalnya dan alasannya apa. Oke, yeah, that's all for your mid test. The first session you may leave the room because I want to invite the second session. Your students, your friends for the second session. You may leave the room now. Okay. Okay, see you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome. Oke, hello. Sekarang sesi 2 ya. Jadi yang nomor urut 1 sampai 20 silakan leave the room. Oke, number 1 to 20, you may leave the room. Now it's time for the second session, that is number 21. Jadi kayaknya. Kalau saya lihat di sini sampai 42 orang. Don't forget to write number, your absent number in front of your name.
Aku beli diriku bisa kasih.
Unmute your voice.
There want to live a forward gutter. Ano kayo? Ano jauh? Jauh persen.
Okay, I'll inform you once again the rules for your mid-test. The first one is, if it's your turn for reading, kalau gilirannya membaca, you have to activate your video. Okay, otherwise, if you don't activate it, your score won't be the same as the one who is active. Okay, jadi yang lain yang cuman sementara nonton bisa nonaktifkan videonya, but if you're reading your text now, for example, jadi kalau kalian sementara membaca, you have to activate your video. so I can see your expression while reading your text. And then write your number, your absent number in front of your name. So for example, your number 21 dash your name. Oke, 21 garis tengah, kemudian namanya. The third one, you have to pay attention to your friend's performance because you have the second mid test and no, the second assignment for your mid test, and I already posted on Syam OK. Oke, jadi saya sudah berikan tugas kedua untuk mid testnya di Syam OK. That's about your friend's performance. So you have to choose who is the best performance, the worst performance, and the performance that you want to watch again, if possible. Jadi tugasnya itu kalian pilih siapa yang menurut kalian paling bagus penampilannya, yang paling buruk penampilannya, sama penampilannya yang kalian suka dan kalian mau nonton lagi. Special for the third one, special untuk yang tugas yang soal yang ketiga itu kalian bisa pilih lebih dari satu. You may choose more than one, but maximum 3 students. Oke, nggak usah lebih dari 3 karena terlalu banyak. Dan kalian mesti write reasons for choosing them. Oke, jadi ada alasan kenapa kalian pilih mereka. Jadi bukan cuma sekedar pilih atau karena sahabatnya kah misalnya, terus kalian pilih dia yang paling bagus, bukan. Harus ada alasannya, misalnya pronunciation-nya bagus, intonasinya bagus, atau apa gitu. Pokoknya the whole process on their reading, for example, make you interested to listen to him or her till the last, misalnya. Pokoknya terserah kalian lah apa alasannya yang menurut kalian memilih mereka menjadi yang terbagus, terburuk, atau yang menjadi favorit kalian. Oke, sudah semua di sini, sudah ada semua. 21, 22, 24, 23 mana orangnya? Ini number 23 siapa? Hmm. 23 itu Putri Saskia. Oh, di sini 24 ya. Aprilia Maharani ada? Aprilia Maharani, oh ya ada. Oke. 32, 33. Kenapa ada 33 dua orang di sini? 33 ini Jilan Samara sama Fahmi Fardika sama-sama 33. Di sini harusnya 33 itu Musfira 34. 32 Putri. Fahmid dulu, baru Jilan. Kalau di absennya ya, di absennya itu Sulfira Hasra, baru Putri, baru Fahmid, baru Musfira Dean. Kalau di sini, Musfira Dean. Setelah itu baru Jilan Samara Hatta. Kalau menurut absennya ya. Jadi si Jilan ini kamu setelahnya Musfira. Jadi Musfira dulu. Musfira Dian dulu baru si Jilan. Jadi Jilan kamu itu nomor 35. Oke. 6, 37, 38. Nur Fadila ada orangnya? Nur Fadila ya. Nur Fadila ini setelahnya Elsa Awalia. Ini kalian pakai absen apa? Kenapa beda sama yang dikasih ke saya? Yang dikasih ke saya itu setelah Musfira tuh Jilan. Setelah Jilan Farhan. Terus Reski Amelia, kemudian Fadila Ayu Natasha, terus Elsa Awalia, terus Nur Fadila, terus Syahrul, terus Anugrah, tapi Anugrah tadi sudah tampil. Yang terakhir Nurul Hikmah. Ini terbalik. Syahrul dulu baru Nurul Hikmah. Oke, it's okay, enggak apa-apa. Kalian ikuti saja yang di sini. Yang punya kalian. Yang penting tidak ada yang nomornya sama ya. Kayak tadi ada yang sama. Jadi ini Nur Fadila nomor urut berapa ini? 33.
Nomor urut 4.
Belum ada ditulis nomornya di sini. Soalnya ini sudah ada 41, 9, 40 yang belum ada. Berarti kamu kayaknya nomor 40. Oke, kita bisa mulai ya. Kita bisa mulai. Sudah jelas semua instruksinya. Let's start from number 21, Iin Febrianti. Oh, once again, if your text is too long, please make it short. Okay, just one page maximum. Okay. Kalau misalnya kalian pilih teksnya itu short story dan terlalu panjang misalnya, baca maksimum one page saja. Jadi satu halaman saja paling banyak. Kalau bisa sih kalian pakai timer, terus di timernya itu kasih 2 menit saja maksimum. Jadi tidak usah terlalu lama setiap orang. Maksimum 2 minutes. Okay, that's all. Let's start. Number 21, Iin Fabrianti. Time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my name is In Febrianti. And now I wanna read the poetry, and the title poetry is How Do You Die by Edmund Pence Cook. Do you tackle the trouble that came your way? We are raised with hurt and cheerful, or hide your face from the light of day. We are craven soul and fearful. Oh, a trouble is a tone, or a trouble is announced, or a trouble is what you make it. And it isn't the fact that you are hurt that counts, but only how do you take it? You are beaten to earth. Well, what's that? Come out with a smiling face. It's nothing against you to fall down flat, but to lie there, that's disgrace. The harder you are thrown, why the higher you bounce. Be proud of your blackened eye. It isn't the fact that you are like that counts. It's how you fight and why. And though you be done to the death, what then? If you battle the best you could, if you play your part in the world of men, why? The critic will call it good. That comes with a crowl or comes with a pounce. And whether his lowers pride, it isn't the fact that you all did that counts, but only how do you die. Okay, I think that's all, and thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you. Is number 22, Multiara Ramadhani. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
This time I want to read the short story, The Monkey and the Crocodile. It was a beautiful life surrounded by lush green grasses, beautiful trees, mountains, and sweetest, tastiest janum trees. There lived a monkey on one of the janum trees located near the lake. As the crocodile visited the janum trees every day, it became friends with monkey. Crocodile and monkey met every day. The monkey helped crocodile by providing more and fresh janum fruit from the tree. Their relationship continued and they became close pals. One day, the monkey asked the crocodile to give some janum fruit to his wife and family as the fruit were more delicious. The crocodile agreed and took of the janum tree's to his wife. His wife was so happy and surprised that she never ate so delicious fruit so far. The wife crocodile made a plan in her mind. She asked her husband, "Does your friend eat this fruit every day?" The crocodile replied, "Yes." She added, "Oh my goodness, they are the sweetest fruit we are eat." Imagine how delicious the monkey heart would be if he ate this fruit daily. "I need the heart of your friends. Can you please bring it for me?" The crocodile was shocked to hear if it were his wife. She replied, "But he is my close friend. I can do this with him." The wife crocodile told him, "Don't worry, you bring him here. I will then take care of else you might try to push him down into the water if he doesn't know swimming." The, the very next day, Crocodile invited Monkey to join them for lunch and asked for his favorite food. Monkey happily agreed to be the guest but worried then the monkey didn't know how to swim in the lake. Crocodile on thinking about Monkey's sorrow. "Please, more Monkey," and told him, "Don't worry, I will carry you on my back and I will take you back safely too." The monkey accepted and Crocodile rode to him his home on his back on the water. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 23, Aprilia Maharani. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today I'm gonna read the short story and Gay Wilson. She was his third visitor. That's because she was the teacher's daughter and her mother made her. The other two, John and Eric, were not really his other kids to get their lunch money. Jason knew he wouldn't have long to live. He could feel it deep inside. Seeing his grandmother cry after talking with the doctor confirmed it. His time had come. He didn't tell his visitors to. They would either pity him or be happy to get rid of him. Once Martha left, he ripped a page of his notebook and wrote, "Dear God, I know I messed up and nobody likes me. Please give me a second chance. I can show you what a good friend I can be." He drew a map showing the way from the church to the hospital, walked shakily to the window, and let the balloon fly away, carrying his message toward God. The balloon headed straight to the telephone pole, but a gentle breeze blew it away. Just in time, and it crossed paths with a duck family and disappeared out of view. The next day, a girl had never met before came to visit him. "I find balloon," she said. "You are lonely?" He just nodded to start to talk. "I lonely too. My family come from Afghanistan and I know speak English good." She smiled. "I bring gift to you." She handed him a box of chocolate. "I pray for a friend and God give me a friend." Normally he would have made fun of her broken English and her long brown robe, but he knew better. He smiled and offered her the first chocolate. I think that's all for my short story. Thank you so much for my.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 24, Putri Zaskia Tamrin. Okay, time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you for your chance opportunity. And I'm Putri Zaskia Tamrin from class A. I want to read a short story about Rasulullah and Yahudi's grandmother. One day, Rasulullah passed the same place. However, he feels strange. He can pass easily without interruption. When he returned home, he did not see the old Quraysh grandmother who used to bother him. The next day, Rasulullah passed the same place, and like yesterday, he did not see the old grandmother. Finally, Rasulullah decided to visit the old grandmother. Maybe something happened to grandmother. So, after the days of prayer were over, Rasulullah go home, drove the same hall and knock on the old grandmother. Tock, tock, tock. Rasulullah said greeting. No answer. He repeated the greeting 3 times. It was only after the third greeting that weak voice come from within. Come in, the door is unlocked. Rasulullah entered. He saw the old grandmother who often bothered him sleeping weakly. His face looked pale. His voice was weak too. Rasulullah approached him. The grandmother was surprised to find out the one who visited her were Rasulullah. His hair was very touched. They rolled down her cheek. Really, his friend and relative did not see him, even if only for a moment. Neither Tolan nor her relative gave for hope and ring. His siblings were indifferent to his situation. However, the person who always harassed, scolded, and often pelted with disgusting things actually came to see him, feed him, drink, comfort him, and prayed for him to get Wilson. The grandmother said, "Oh, Muhammad bin Abdullah, you know I always bother you when you pass in front of my house. You also see how I am today. No relative have visited me, even though my condition is very weak. For the sake of Allah Muhammad, today I want to be Muslim and follow the religion you carry. Really, this is religion full of compassion. MashaAllah. I always bother at you, still you are the one who visits me when I was sick. Meanwhile, my brother, no one can see the bridge of his nose. Really, I will embrace your religion. Thank you. That's all from me. Thank you for your next attention.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 25. Tidak ada number 25 ya. Cahya Faradila. Ini orangnya ada atau tidak? Cahya Faradila. Tidak ada ya. Ini orangnya keluar atau memang tidak hadir hari ini? Karena katanya si siapa tadi tuh yang Syahrul, kalau tidak salah, katanya sudah tidak kuliah. Oke, kalau tidak ada orangnya, si Cahya ini tidak ada, kita move ke number 26, Feby Aulia Reski. Feby Aulia Reski, time is yours. You have to activate your video and your voice. Halo, Feby. Feby Aulia Reski. Feby Aulia Reski, time is yours. You may start reading. Mana si Feby? Belum mulai. Feby Aulia Reski. Sudah gilirannya Feby sekarang. Mana orangnya? Di unmute dulu. Oke. Oke, diulang ya.
Ya. Ya, Ma'am. My name is Feby Aulia-Reski. I will reading a poetry about Someday. Someday by Sapardi Djoko Damono. Someday, my body will no longer exist. But in this verses, you will not let go by yourself. Someday, my voice cannot be heard again. But between these lines of poetry, you will still be enthusiastic. Someday, my dreams are not now anymore, but in between the leaders of this rhyme, you will not be tired. I'm looking for. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 27, Tria Reski Ramadana. Okay, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Tria Reski Ramadana. The title poetry is Love and a Question by Robert Frost. A stranger came to the door at eve, and he spoke the bridegroom fair. He bore a green white stick in his hand, and for all burden care, he acts with the eyes more than the lips. For a shelter for the night, and he turned and looked at the road afar, without a window light. The bridegroom came forth into the porch, with, "Let us look at the sky, and question what of the night to be." Stranger, you and I, the woodbine leaves littered the yard, the woodbine berries were blue. Autumn, yes, winter was in the wind. Stranger, I wish I knew. Within the bride in the dust alone. I think that's all. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 28, Firda Yanti. Time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Firda Yanti, and I will short story The Legend of Roybird. There is a kingdom in West Kalimantan. The king had 7 little girls and his deceased wife, 7 beautiful daughters. Nevertheless, the youngest little girls were the most amazing. He is the keenest person, who is different from other lazy brothers. They also have different attitude problems. He usually visits his eldest son to behave like the youngest little girls. One day, the king asked all his daughters to come together and then replied, "I have months outside this kingdom, so I gave him the function to hold this kingdom." But the older son was angry. I don't agree what they said, but father not care about all that. The next day, that's when he invited his younger sibling. "Wish you to a river that has a lot of fish?" Then the youngest said, "I really want, I like the river." Then I left and none got touched in the youngest sibling when he agreed to take him fishing in a cave where there is a river and lots of fish. Then finally The youngest enters the cave. It is because with his enthusiasm without realizing what his brother meant. The youngest was hurt and called his sister. Sister, where do you help me? Your sister, sighed the youngest, but finally he felt suddenly a holy old one who was practicing meditation in a cave approached him. She turned her test into eggs. Finally, he agreed. Gradually, he became a wonderful bird. And also, the egg hatched. They returned to the kingdom. They all lived in the tree near the kingdom and watched their older brother be vanished by their father. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 29, Dian Nurdani. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity given. My name is Dian Nurdani, and now I will read a poem entitled Our Nature Has Been Lost. Our nature has been lost. Every evening there is a red sky, as if standing with rays, chirping birds, and a stretch of forest. All of those are so beautiful I could never forget. When morning came, I saw the sun. I approached the river. I hear the birds singing clearly. I feel the cold water. I felt an animal's nature. When minutes began to change and I grew up, I immediately went to reach a science. When I come back, I think there is something wrong. The nature is not like before. Green changes to red, clear changes to dark. Stream becomes dry, slipping changes into stone. My nature has changed. I could no longer hear the sirp. I did not even feel the cold. I just feel hot and alright. My nature has broken. Them caused by hour. Okay, I think that's all, and thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next is number 30, Adila Silviani. Okay, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. Hello, my name is Adila Silviani, and I want to read poetry. The title of Favorite Teacher. Favorite Teacher by Olianti. Thank you, favorite teacher. Time to show me. Lesson hard to comprehend. Thank you for your care and loss of others too. For all the things you give me, I can't thank you enough. The most admired teacher will be care, keen, and smart. She will always help her students, best in her heart. She will help us love to learn. Her lesson will be clear. She motivates with praise and always be sincere. A teacher is like a winter. Will it is snowing hard outside, keeping students comfortable. As a warm and helpful guide, teacher, you do all these things with a present attitude. You are a teacher for all seasons, and you have my gratitude. I think that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 31, Sulfira Hasra. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sulfira Hasra. Well, I read a short story entitled Roro Jonggrang. Once upon a time, there was a kingdom named Prambanan. The people lived peacefully. However, their happy lives were disturbed by Pengging Kingdom. The king, Bandung Bondowoso, wanted to occupy Prambanan. He was a mean king. The war between Prambanan and Pengging could not be avoided. Prambanan lost the war and led by the new king, Bandung Bondowoso. Pengging could win the war because Bandung Bondowoso had a supernatural power. His soldiers were not only humans but also genies. Those creatures always obeyed Bandung Bondowoso. They always did whatever Bandung Bondowoso asked them to do. The king of Prambanan had a beautiful daughter. Her name was Roro Jonggrang or Rara Jonggrang. Bandung Bondowoso fell in love with her and wanted to marry her. If you want to marry me, you have to build 1,000 of temples in just one night, said Roro Jonggrang. She hated Bandung Bondowoso because he made the people of Prambanan suffer. What impossible! You just gave me an excuse for not marrying me, said Bandung Bondowoso. But he did not give up. He asked the genies to help him. Then all those genies worked hard to build the 1,000 temples. Meanwhile, Roro Jonggrang heard from the ladies in waiting that the building of 1,000 temples was almost finished. She was so scared, she did not want to marry Bandung Bondowoso. And then she had a great idea. She asked all the ladies in waiting to help her. I think that's all. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 32, Putri. Time is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Putri. I want to read a short story is The Greedy Mouse. A greedy mouse saw a basket full of corn. He wanted to eat it, so he made a small hole in the basket. He squeezed through the hole. He ate a loaf of corn. He felt full. He was very happy. Now he wanted to come out. He tried to come out through the small hole. He could not. His belly was full. He tried again, but he was off news. The mouse started crying. A rabbit passing by. It heard the mouse cry and asked, "Why are you crying, my friend?" The mouse replied, "I come into a basket. Now I'm not able to go through that hole." The rabbit sighed, "It is because you ate too much. Wait till your belly shrinks." The rabbit laughed, ha 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 ha, and went away. The mouse fell asleep in the basket. Next morning, his belly had shrunk, but the mouse wanted to eat some corn. So he ate and ate. His belly was full once again. He thought, "Oh, now I'm glad to know." The cat was the next passerby. He smelled the mouse in the basket. He lifted its lid. He ate the mouse. Okay, I think that's all and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 33, Fahmid Fardika. Time is yours. Oke, hello. Siapa tadi? Fahmid Fardika, ada orangnya?
Maaf, Mam. Mute tadi.
Oh iya, oke. You may start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fahmid Fardika, and I want to read a short story entitled The Town Mouse and the Country Mouse. A town mouse once visited a relative who lived in the country. For lunch, the country mouse served with stuff, roots, and a prawn, with a dash of cool water for drink. The town mouse ate very springily, nibbling a little of this and a little of that, and by her manner making it very plain that she ate the simple food only to be polite. After the meal, the friends had a long talk, or rather the town mouse talked about her life in the city, while the country mouse listened. They then went to bed in a cozy nest in the hedgerow and sleep in quiet and comfort until morning. In her sleep, the country mouse dreamed she was a town mouse with all the luxuries and the like of city life that her friend had described for her. So the next day, when the town mouse asked the country mouse to go home with her to the city, she gladly said yes. When they reached the mansion in which the town mouse lived, they found on the table in the dining room the leaving of very fine banquet. There were sweetmeats and jelly, pastries, delicious cheese, indeed the most tempting foods that a mouse can imagine. But just as the country mouse was about to nibble a dainty bit of pastry, she heard a cat meow loudly and spread at the door. In great fear, the mice cried to a hiding place, where they lay quite still for a long time, hardly daring to breathe. When at last they ventured back to the feast, the door opened suddenly and in came the servant to clear the table, followed by the house dog. The country mouse stopped in the town mouse, then only long enough to pick up her carpet bag and umbrella. You may have luxuries and dainties that I have not, she said, as she hurried away, but I prefer my plain food and simple life in the country with the peace and security that go with, the country mouse said. I think that's all. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Next one is number 34, Musfira Dean. Okay, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity given to me. So my name is Musfira Dean, and now I want to read a short story, and the title is The Legend of Nyi Roro Kidul. According to the story, long time ago, there is a beautiful woman named Kadita. Kadita is the daughter of King Mundingwangi. Although Kadita has very beautiful face, the king was still upset because he did not have a son who can be prepared for being the next king. After the king got married with Dewi Mutiara, there was born a baby boy. However, after getting much attention, Dewi Mutiara started asking to making sure their children will be the men who will replace the king, and Dewi Kadita must be expelled from the place. The first request was fulfilled, but the king was not willing to expel Dewi Kadita. I can't accept it, Dewi Mutiara said. I can't fulfill your every request, the king said. Knowing the answer of the king, Dewi Mutiara smiled sweetly. So that the king's anger is slowly disappeared, but she had a revenge in her heart. The next morning, Dewi Mutiara asked her baby sister to call a witch. The king Mundingwangi heard that news. He had to decide in the dizzy conditions. Due to the insistence of his advisor, her daughter had to be banished in order not to be a disgrace. Night and day, she walked, and it was already the seventh night that she went through until she arrived at South Sea Beach. She stood up and saw the breadth of the sea, and she was like hearing a voice who asked her to go into the sea.
When she followed the voice and her body touched the water, her body was recovered. She became a beautiful woman like before. And not only that, she would govern the sea and establish great and beautiful kingdom. And now she called as Queen of South Sea. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much for your great attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. The next one is number 35, Jilan Samara. Jilan Samara. Okay, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Jilan Samarahatta. I'll read a poem by Sarah Kay, and the title is "The Tide." This poem is one of my favorite poetry because this poem states that the place woman seeks has always been within herself, and I will start it. If you grow up the type of woman men want to hold, you can let them hold you. All day they practice keeping their bodies upright. Even after all this evolving, it still feels unnatural. Still pulls tight the muscles, hold firms the arms and spine. Only some men want to learn what it feels like to wrap themselves into a question mark around you. Admit they do not have the answers they thought they would have by now. Some men will want to hold you like being answer. You are not the answer. You're not the problem. You're not the poem or the punchline or the riddle or the woman. If you grow up the type man wants to love, you can let them love. Being loved is not the same thing as loving. When you fall in love, it is discovering the ocean after years of puddle jumping. It is realizing you have hands. It is reaching for the type of when the crowds have all gone home. Do not spend time wondering if you're the type of woman man will hurt. If he leaves you with a car, alarm heart, you may learn to sing along. It is hard to stop loving the ocean, even after his that love you gossip, salty. So forgive yourself for the decisions you have made. The ones you still call mistake when you tuck them in at night. And know this. Know you are the type of woman who is looking for a place to call yours. Let the status crumble. You have always been the place. You are a woman who can build it yourself. You were born to build. I think that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 36, Farhan.
Farhan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farhan Abdul Fattah Fahrudin, and I want to read a poetry with the title 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. and I still have not gone to sleep because my mind goes from rewind to fast forward, making me stress and worry about what has happened in the past and what may happen moving toward what I would like my life to be. It's 3:15 and I start to believe that this person who I call myself isn't me, but a shell of someone who used to run and be carefree. And all the while I'm fighting these demons that claw and wound my soul, wishing they would stop and turn into angels that would protect me in a warm hole. It's 3:30 at night, and I have yet to turn off the light because the darkness reminds me of the place my thoughts take me to play a song I never liked. I'm not crazy, just a night of, just a bit withdrawn and caught up with everything that's wrong. And I'm very loving and honest person, but in the mirror, I see someone who's never enough. It's almost 4 a.m. and I'm still tossing and turning until I decide to finally get up. Allow my feet to take me to the corner of the room and sit on the floor. where I try to convince myself that I'm not a loser or a bore. Every muscle in my body becomes tense as I watch the clock and by, tick by and try to make things sense. Every bone in my body as I remind myself to every single failure, every single take, I admit I have sinned and have brought to life monster that drained the life out of me, monster who saved me inside. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, number 37, Reski Amelia. Time is yours.
Thank you. My name is Reski Amelia. Today I will read a story about Hansel and Gretel. There once lived a poor woodcutter and his wife who had two children named Hansel and Gretel. The woodcutter's wife was evil because they could not take care of their children. His wife asked him to leave their children in the middle of the forest. Hansel and Gretel knew about their parents' plan, so they came up with a plan of dropping pebbles along the way their father took them. All they had to do then was to follow the line of the pebbles back home. Their parents were surprised to see them back and decided to take them again with a different route the next day. This time, Hansel and Gretel could not find any pebbles. But luckily, Hansel had some breadcrumbs in his pocket and dropped them along the way. But the birds ate up all the crumbs and now they were completely lost. They kept walking and went deeper into the forest. After walking for hours, they saw a hut that was made out of chocolate, cookies, and candy. "Look, Hansel, it's a chocolate door!" shouted Gretel in delight. Then they both hungrily ate it. Suddenly, a wicked witch who owned the hut came and caught them. She locked up Hansel in a cage and planned to make a soup out of him. Then she asked Gretel to help her to heat a large pot of water for the water. But just as the witch bent to check the water's temperature, Gretel pushed her from behind and the witch fell into the boiling water. She howled in pain and died instantly. Gretel immediately freed Hansel and they both filled their pockets with the witch jewels. I think that's all. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 38, Fadila Ayu Natasha. Okay, Fadila Ayu Natasha, time is yours.
To me, I'm going to current she did not find remind bees her
Halo, Reski Amelia. Video dan audionya udah aktif. Oke, kita skip dulu yang Reski Amelia karena kayaknya jaringannya ndak stabil.
Maaf, Mem, saya tadi sudah. Sekarang gilirannya Fadila Ayu.
Reski Amelia tadi saya belum sempat lihat. Karena jaringannya mungkin tidak bagus, jadi tidak kedengaran.
Oh ya, Mas. Tunggu sebentar, Mem, saya.
Videonya juga tidak kelihatan tadi, jadi. Dan putus-putus suaranya.
Saya ulangi, Mem. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Reski Amelia. Today I will read a story about Hansel and Gretel. There once lived a poor woodcutter and his wife who had two children named Hansel and Gretel. The woodcutter's wife was evil because they could not take care of their children. His wife asked him to leave their children in the middle of the forest. Hansel and Gretel knew about their parents' plan, so they came up with a plan of dropping pebbles along the way their father took them. All they had to do then was to follow the line of the pebbles back home. Their parents were surprised to see them back and decided to take them again with a different route the next day. This time, Hansel and Gretel could not find any pebbles, but luckily, Hansel had some breadcrumbs in his pocket and dropped them along the way. But the birds ate up all the crumbs and now they were completely lost. They kept walking and went deeper into the forest. After walking for hours, they reached a hut that was made. Mati. Mati culik tepu. Nggak tahu. Iya mati.
Lanjut.
Sorry, ma'am. They kept walking and went deeper into the forest. After walking for hours, they saw a hut that was made of chocolate, cookies, and candy. Look, Hansel, it's a chocolate door, shouted Gretel in delight. Then they both hungrily ate it. Suddenly, a wicked witch who owned the hut came and caught them. She locked up Hansel in a cage and planned to make a soup out of him. Then she asked Gretel to help her to heat a large pot of water for the water. But just as the witch bent to check the water's temperature, Gretel pushed her from behind and the witch fell into the boiling water. She howled in pain and died instantly. Gretel immediately freed Hansel and they both filled their pockets with the witch jewels. I think that's all. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 38. Fadilah Ayu Natasha. Okay, time is yours. Okay, you may start.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity that you gave to me. My name is Fadilah Yunasha. I'm going to read a short story about Beauty and Beast. Once upon a time, an enchantress turned a handsome young prince into a terrible beast she discovered his selfishness. She left behind enchanted rose. If the prince did not find true love before the last rose petal fell, he would remain a beast forever. In a village nearby, Belle lived with her father. More than anything, Belle wanted an adventure like those she read in her beloved books. Gaston wanted to marry Belle, but she refused. Belle thought he was a beastly bore, and Gaston didn't understand why she was always reading. It's not right for a woman to read, he said. Belle's father, Maurice, was an inventor. His latest invention was an automatic wood chopper, which he was taking to a contest at the county fair. You'll win first prize, Belle declared. On his way to the fair, Maurice got lost in the woods. A pack of wolves chased him to the gates of a nearby castle. Not sure what he would find inside, Maurice entered the castle grounds cautiously. Maurice could never imagine the hideous beast that confronted him. Thinking Maurice had come to stare at him, the beast was furious. Without mercy, he locked this unwanted visitor in the dungeon. When her father's force came home alone, Belle went in search of her father and found him locked up. Belle begged the beast for Maurice's freedom. Take him instead, she offered. The beast agreed, making her promise to stay in the castle forever. On her first night, Belle met the castle servants. The spell cast by the enchantress had turned them into enchanted objects. I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 39, Elza Awalia Musakir. Okay, time is yours, Elza.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Elsa Walam Sakir. In today's mid test, I'd like to read a short story, which is The Struggles of Our Life. Once upon a time, a daughter complained to her father that her life was miserable and that she didn't know how she was going to make it. She was tired of fighting and struggling all the time. It seemed just as one problem was solved, another one soon followed. Her father, a chef, took her to the kitchen. He filled 3 pots with water and placed each on a high fire. Once the 3 pots began to boil, he placed potatoes in one pot, eggs in the second pot, and ground coffee beans in the third pot. He then let them sit and boil without saying a word to his daughter. The daughter moaned and impatiently waited, wondering what he was doing. After 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out of the pot and placed them in a bowl. He pulled the eggs out and placed them in a bowl. He then ladled the coffee out and placed it in a cup. Turning to her, he asked, "Daughter, what do you see?" "Potatoes, eggs, and coffee," she hastily replied. "Look closer," he said, and touched the potatoes. She did and noted that they were soft. He then asked her to take an egg and break it. After pulling off the shell, she observed the hard-boiled egg. Finally, he asked her to sip the coffee. Its rich aroma brought a smile to her face. "Father, what does this mean?" she asked. He then explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and coffee beans had each faced the same adversity, the boiling water. However, each one reacted differently. The potato is strong, hard, and unrelenting, but in boiling water it becomes soft and weak. The egg was fragile, with the thin outer shell protecting its liquid interior until it was put in the boiling water. Then the inside of the egg became hard. However, the ground coffee beans were unique. After they were exposed to boiling water, they changed the water and created something new. "Which one are you?" he asked his daughter. "When at first it knocks on your door, how do you respond? Are you a potato, an egg, or a coffee bean. Maybe that's all for me. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The next one is number 40. Nur Fadila. Okay, time is yours, Nur Fadila.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Fadila, and I will read a short story by the title Womulan. Thousands of years ago in ancient China, a little woman born. Mulan's father was being a great warrior, so he had been injured in the battle. As she raised in the father, a man or you charged me for the her in fire. The emperor had ordered that one man from every family must join the emperor's army, but most knew her father was all too far. At night, she made a big decision. After saying a prayer to the ancestor, she swore to cut her hair. Then she raised up to join the imperial army in her father's place. Believed she was more hard teach his soldiers and discipline. Last, all in her journey. Mula can in because of Mula correct intelligence able to the allied soldiers and the people were celebrating. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 41, Syahrul Ramadan.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Ramadan. I will read a poetry. The title is My Mom, My Love. Okay, I will read it. My mom is my love. My mom is beautiful, like a peacock. When she smiles, I just melt like on ice. There are many ways to say I love you, I love you, I love you. You know, sometimes people say we look alike, but you are more beautiful than me. You are the only person I love. I love you, mom. You will always be in my heart. There are so many words that describes you, but all I know is that you are my mom. Her eyes are diamonds shining up the sky. When she calls me, she is like a bird singing happy. Whenever I look into her eyes, I find my greatest peace. My heart wills with relaxation. All my happiness increase. All my sorrows vanish like a magic when I hear her voice. Just to hear your lovely words, I'd love to live twice. Whenever I hold her hands, I find my best shelter. Can't find anyone safer than you. Can stay with anyone better. I think that's all. And thank you.
Okay, thank you. The next one is number 42. Nurul Hikmah. Nurul Hikmah, time is yours. Terakhir Cahya. Cahya
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for the time given to me. My name is Nurul Hikmah and I want to read short story, the title of Lutung Kasarung. In ancient times in Tatar Pasundan, there was a kingdom ruled by a wise king. He was known as Prabu Tapak Agung. Prabu Tapak Agung had two beautiful daughters, namely Purbararang and his younger sister Purbasari. At the end of his life, Prabu Tapak Agung appointed Purbasari, his youngest daughter, as a replacement, aims to Oh, it's time for me to abdicate, said Prabhutapak. Purbasari has an older sister named Purbararang. He did not agree with his younger sister being appointed to replace their father. I'm the eldest daughter. My father should have chosen me as his successor, grumbled Purbararang to her friends in Rajaya. His growing ferocity made him have the intention of harming his younger sister. He made a witch to cast a spell on Purbasari. The witch had a spell on Purbasari, so that moment Purbasari's skin suddenly became dotted with black spots. Purbararang had a reason to expel his younger sister. Then they ordered a party to expel Purbasari to the forest. Arriving at the forest, the governor was still kind of making a hurt Purbasari. She also advised Purbasari, "Be strong, princess. The trial will definitely end. The Almighty will always be with the princess." "Thank you, uncle," said Purbasari. While in the forest, he had many friends, namely animals who were always nice to him. Among these animals there a mysterious black-haired monkey, Lutung Kasarung, always makes Purbasari happy by picking up beautiful flowers and fruit with his friends. On a full moon night, Lutung Kasarung behaved strangely. He walked to a quiet place and meditated. He was keen something for the good. This proves that a Lutung Kasarung is not an ordinary creature. Not long after, the land near Lutung Kasarung cracked and created a small lake. The water was very clear. The water contained drugs that are very fragrant. The next day, Lutung Kasarung met Purbasari and asked him to take a bath in the lake. "What's in the for me?" told Purbasari, but he won't complain. Not long after, he threw himself. Sometimes happened to his skin. Her skin became clear as before and his become beautiful again. Purbasari was very surprised and happy when they looked in the mirror. I think that's all. Thank you so much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The last one ya ini Cahya Farah. Cahya Farah, kamu seharusnya dari tadi, cuman tadi saya panggil tidak nyahut. Okay, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Cahya Faradillah. Today I will read a poem. The title is Demons of Darkness by Olivia B. She stood on the bridge in silence and fear, for the demon of darkness had driven her here. They cut her heart right off her chest, making her believe that the diamonds knew best. They were always there, sometimes just out of sight, waiting in the background till the time was right. These demons cannot be seen, but they are far from fairy tales. They live inside your mind. Their evilness prevails. So on the bridge she stood, about to end the fight. Then she stopped and thought. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oke, waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sudah semua ya? Oke, karena sudah semuanya, I just want you to remind you that after this, you may check your Shamoke and you have the second assignment there. Oke, saya sudah kasih tahu. Jadi tugasnya itu tadi, saya ulangi kembali. Pilih yang menurut kalian temannya, penampilannya temannya yang menurut kalian paling bagus. Terus yang yang paling tidak bagus sama yang favorit kalian siapa. Bisa 2-3 orang maksimum 3 orang ya. Dan itu dan apa alasannya kalian memilih mereka. Oke. No more questions ya, jadi tidak ada pertanyaan. Kalau begitu saya tutup. That's all for today. Thank you very much for attending the mid test and see you next meeting. Okay, bye. See you.